Hello there. Now, tonight's bedtime story is quite a special one. Tonight's bedtime story is called Little Miss Scatterbrain. It is written by Roger Hargreaves with pictures by Adam Hargreaves. Little Miss Scatterbrain is just a bit forgetful. You can say that again. Little Miss Scatterbrain, it was just a little bit forgetful. She met Mr. Funny. "Hello, Miss Scatterbrain," he said. "Hello, Mr. Bump," she replied. She met Mr. Tickle. "Hello, little Miss Scatterbrain," he said. "Hello, Mr. Strong," she replied. She met Mr. Happy. "Where are you off to?" he asked her. She thought and thought. "I bet you've forgotten, haven't you?" laughed Mr. Happy. Little Miss Scatterbrain looked at him. "Forgotten what?" she said. Little Miss Scatterbrain lived in the middle of a wood, in Buttercup Cottage. Everybody knew it was called Buttercup Cottage, except the owner. She kept forgetting. "I know," she thought to herself. "To help me remember, I'll put up a sign." Look what the sign says. She isn't called Little Miss Scatterbrain for nothing, is she? One winter's morning, she got up and went downstairs to make breakfast. She shook some cornflakes out of a packet, but being Little Miss Scatterbrain, she forgot to put a bowl underneath. "Now, where did I put the milk?" she asked herself. It took her 10 minutes to find it. In the oven. After breakfast, she set off to town. Shopping. She went to the bank first. "Good morning, Little Miss Scatterbrain," smiled the bank manager. "What can I do for you?" Little Miss Scatterbrain looked at him. "I'd like some..." "Money?" suggested the bank manager. "Sausages," replied Little Miss Scatterbrain. "Sausages?" exclaimed the bank manager. "But this isn't a butcher's, this is a bank." "Oh, silly me," laughed Little Miss Scatterbrain. "Of course it is. I was forgetting." She smiled. "I sometimes do, you know." "Really?" said the bank manager. "I'd like 2, please," she said. "Pounds?" asked the manager. "Pounds," agreed Miss Scatterbrain. The bank manager passed £2 coins over the counter. Little Miss Scatterbrain looked at them. "What are these?" she said. £2, he replied. £2, she said. "They don't look much like £2 of sausages to me." Eventually, the bank manager managed to explain, and off went Little Miss Scatterbrain to the butcher. Phew, remarked the bank manager. Little Miss Scatterbrain walked into the butcher's shop. "Good morning," said Percy Pork, the butcher. "Good morning, Mr. Beef," she replied. "Pork?" said the butcher. "No," she said. "Sausages." "But my name isn't Sausages," he said. "Of course it isn't," she replied. "That's what I'm here for." "Oh," said Percy, scratching his head. What sort do you suggest?" she asked. "Beef?" she asked. I thought you said your name was Pork," she said. Percy Pork sighed a deep sigh of relief. "Call me Percy," she said. Eventually, a little bit more confusion, Little Miss Scatterbrain managed to buy her £2 of sausages. Percy Pork wrapped them up for her. "Looks like snow," he said conversationally, looking out of his shop window. "Really?" said Little Miss Scatterbrain, looking at the brown paper parcel. "What a funny man," she thought to herself. "Looks like snow indeed. Looks more like unwrapped sausages to me. "Goodbye," said Percy Pork. "Good night," she replied, and went out to catch a bus home. Little Miss Scatterbrain stood behind Mr. Silly in the queue at the bus stop. Along came Mr. Nosey. He stood behind her in the queue. He looked up at the sky. "Looks like snow," he remarked. Little Miss Scatterbrain looked at the brown paper parcel in her hand and said nothing. That story was called Little Miss Scatterbrain. It's time for you to go to bed. But until then, I'll see you again soon for another bedtime story. Good night.